operations of the Indaba thus far?
I think there's a tempering of expectations. People are becoming used to the idea that this commodity prices are not going to go back anytime soon. I think that message is coming. And the other thing that's coming through to me is that mining companies have got to realize that they've got to invest in the good times. They've got to invest for the future. In technology, education, those kind of things. And this short-term approach to the mining industry has got to change. We've got to have long-term approach.
Absolutely. Talking about sustainability, mine closure is also another big factor. How is a consultant to encourage companies to start planning for a closure before they even open the mine?
Yeah, well, in hard or tough economic times, it's very difficult, to get people to start investing for when they actually close the mine. So it's difficult, but it gets back to these, another theme that's coming to it, partnerships. Governments, stakeholders, and mining companies have got to have a collaborative approach to that, and for the benefit of everybody. When the mine's closed, what's going to be left for the communities?
So you say mining needs to take a more holistic approach and not just focus on the commodities.
Yeah.
And the coal price, it's been slightly fluctuating. Where do you think that'll settle down at?
The coal?
Yeah.
I mean, coal in this country, well, in most countries, it's in dire straits. Particularly in this country, and we are about to start exploiting a new coal field, which is more geologically complex. Costs are going to go up. We've got issues with supply to our national electricity regulator. They've got these new power stations coming on stream. They're going to need coal from those coal fields. At the same time, we're looking for exports. So it's a difficult space right now in South Africa for coal companies.
I suppose then it's difficult to suddenly ramp up production when the demand increases.
Well, that's the thing, and it gets back to the short-term thing. When you're in the good times, which we've had, that's when you've got to invest, so that when the bad times come, you can see yourself through.
And do you see light at the end of the tunnel for the mining industry in sub-Saharan Africa?
Well, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You've just got to be hopeful that it isn't a locomotive coming down.
Speaking of lights, what do you think the best strategy to satisfy our hunger for electricity going forward, especially in the mining industry?
Well, I think the emphasis on criticism of Eskom has been a bit overdone, and I think we should look at it on a holistic basis. Look at the long term. Look what we're going to do. If you look at in Europe, the United States, the cheapest way of providing electricity is energy efficiency. Using the energy which you've got efficiently. And we haven't seen any of that here. We did have with we got rebates when we put in solar energy to our houses for the water, so we got a rebate there. But the whole thing of energy efficiency has to be addressed. Should be addressed in South Africa. Using of low voltage technology and things with solar technology, renewables, all that should be on the table. And we're rather concentrating on criticising Eskom for what is a problem that isn't going to go away by with all the criticism that we're giving them. So
do you see a time when business takes care of their own electricity and doesn't rely on ESCOM and takes almost a leading role in that?
That should be developed as well, an integrated approach. When you're doing mining projects in Africa, provision of energy is a critical issue. And there's companies here from Europe which are looking to be part of that solution. And rural communities. You can harness the new technology, solar energy, wind energy, for the benefit of local communities and for the mines that are there.
Gas seems to be a possible alternative to solve this problem. How feasible do you think it is long term? And with the shale debate, would that solve some of the problems?
Well, the shale debate in South Africa is still open, it's open for discussion. And the way they're going now, we're not going to see any progress in the next 10 years. I can't see. But what we need to do, and I was at a forum yesterday where they were discussing, they're going to, I think the World Wildlife Foundation is going to publish a report on economics of shale gas in South Africa. And I think that's something that needs to be done, because we keep comparing with the United States. The United States, the mineral right situation is different. Individuals can own the surface rights. They've got a big framework, a pipeline framework, which we haven't got in the Karoo. So it's a different ballgame. We need to explore, and we need to see how much gas is there, shale gas is there, and then we need to put a feasibility study together with the oil companies, and then we need to take it forward. Because there is benefit. But what we're doing now is we're all getting excited about the damage to the environment and damage to the water resources. And we haven't a clue what the amounts that are there, whether it's feasible to extract it.
SRK is all about sustainability. How sustainable has the American fracking industry been over? They've been going for 30 years, haven't they?
Yeah, but it's been a game changer in the United States. They've become they have become energy self-sufficient in energy. So it's been a game changer in the United States. But as I said to you, whether that model can work here in South Africa, we don't know. It's a different place, a different ballgame.
And how would that change the face of Southern Africa if we could be energy self-supporting?
Well, we talk about economic growth. The one thing you need for economic growth is energy. So, Barack Obama, when he visited here in, what was it, last year, that was the one thing that he emphasized, is you've got to have energy, you've got to have power, electrical power in the African continent. Otherwise, where will you get the economic growth?
And going forward, this talk of eight nuclear power stations seems very unrealistic. Realistically, how can we do that in the next 10 years, get to a stage where we can push that?
Well, I believe that nuclear power, my personal opinion, nuclear power is the way to go. It's a lot safer, believe it or not, than coal, fossil fuel power stations, and it's costly, so they say. But we need to make those long-term decisions. We've been in the nuclear power business here in Cape Town, Cuba, for the last 30 years. So it's nothing new to South Africa. But we need to make those long-term decisions, and we need to move with them.
Absolutely. And as we move further and further towards mechanisation, how can we make that process smoother? Because the unions obviously are going to be against it.
Well, this is the dilemma, isn't it? And we've heard that with the Indaba. All these companies are looking to technology, they're looking to mechanisation, they're going to do more with less people. Now that is a problem for the African continent, because we already have a high unemployment rate and an unskilled workforce. So we've got to marry those two things together. It's all right talking about productivity improvements through mechanisation. What is going to happen to the workforce and the unemployed? That we've got to sort out. And again, it comes back to partnerships between government, mining companies and other stakeholders.